Good afternoon. We are very pleased to be here today as members of Shepherding the Next Generation. The Bible teaches that the family is the heart of God's purpose and design for humanity. In the beginning, God established a family with His creation of man and woman. The family is the place where faith and values are communicated. As we know from Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Again, my name is Tijerina, formerly known as 250397. That is a prison number that I received here in the state of Ohio. I was 25 years old and I went to prison for a crime I didn't commit. And that's not to say that I wasn't doing things that a man shouldn't do. It just finally all caught up with me. This is my lovely wife of 26 years, this June, Cathy, and we lived to tell about it. I grew up in a home filled with domestic violence, a home where it was respect before love. But because of my prison experience, literally, I was saved. I gave my life to Christ in 1991 while I was incarcerated. And I tell you, I have not looked back since. And since then, we have been blessed and fortunate to go back into nearly almost every prison in the state of Ohio and teach dads what it means to be a dad. Teach fathers what it means to really represent that office. And to help families get recommitted and reconnected with one another so we can stop this cycle of generations of violence and child neglect. We are so proud and privileged to be part of such a great movement, if you will, that this is such a time as this is needed for this epidemic. Now we're seeing in prisons, we're seeing not only dads go to prison, but we're seeing grandfathers, fathers, and the children, the sons of these fathers, 3 generations deep in the prisons. And for the first time, we hear these fathers talk to one another and these grandfathers, and they sit together in a room and they say, finally, we have each other's attention where we can talk like civilized men. But our job here at the Ridge Project is to really bring a new beginning and a new hope for these fathers, that they can take this mantle and hold it with such reverence, because it's a privilege to be a dad. It's a privilege to be a husband. It's a privilege to be a Christian. It's not something that we take lightly anymore. And the dads that we get to work with in the nation, our program is a nationally recognized program, but it was birthed through our own experience of what it meant to be an outcast, what it meant to be somebody who was a part of that epidemic. Not only a victim, but a perpetrator. Because I too was leading in that path, as my forefathers led in that path. So, without further ado, I want to introduce my wife, Cathy.
One of the things that we quickly realized as we worked in the prison ministry is that many of those that are incarcerated, both in the juvenile system and also in the adult system, are themselves victims of abuse and neglect. And so by cutting off abuse and neglect and healing that from the ground up, we are healing a host of social ills. As we're developing a new database, the other day something struck me. We put the father's name in, we put the mom's name in, and then we connect the children so that we can track on case management what's going on, and we can make the appropriate referrals to the services that our families need. And so as we're putting in the kids' names, we click a button that says Save Child. And so as I clicked that button, I thought, oh my gosh, what a statement that says, Save Child. Because as we go forward and we save these children, and we create a new foundation, a safe haven for them, then we are cutting off these generational bonds and curses. The numbers show that over 31,000 Ohio children were confirmed victims of abuse or neglect in 2010. A rate of nearly 85 children abused or neglected every single day. At least 83 Ohio children died from abuse or neglect in that same year. We see the effects, and that's why we are asking, how can we help strengthen families, help parents become more capable, caring, and effective for their children? Faith is what drives us. Our faith calls us to take action. We have looked at the research for the most cost-effective ways to help strengthen families from the inside out. And we have identified a highly successful strategy that can cut child abuse and neglect nearly in half. It is called voluntary home visiting, and many states, including Ohio, are now supporting it. It's a strategy in which a parent, often a single mom, and maybe that mom is single in society because the father is incarcerated, volunteers to have a trained professional, frequently a registered nurse, come into the home and offer guidance and support so that the mom can become the skillful parent that God intended her to be. Research has shown that pairing nurses with young, poor women experiencing their first pregnancy can be very effective in reducing child abuse and neglect and improving parental skills. My colleague, Pastor Long, will tell you more about these high-quality programs. Thank you.